Greetings, viewers. The Department of Culture's Book Launch Program is a long-standing and effective program which aids in the promotion of local authors and their work. For the Department of Information and Public Relations and the Department of Culture, I am your J.A.W.S host, Sanjay Greenwich. And today we are here to discuss J.A.W.S. I'm very excited to be discussing this book, the journey, the approach, the work to success. And it's by authors J.A.W.S and Dr. Albert Tompkins and Walter Barrett. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to the program and congratulations on your new work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Great. And so we'll start right here by Jay. I know there has been quite a bit of traction and engagement already surrounding the book, but can you tell fans, readers, potential readers about yourselves and before we delve into the book itself? And we can start with you, Joshua.
Yes. I am Joshua Emmanuel Edwards, the one and only. There's nobody else. But I'm a counselor. I'm a real estate agent. I'm a husband. I'm a father. But most of all, I love to help people. And that is what this book is about. Really helping people to take what is theirs as the journey I would be sharing with persons what that looked like. So I'm Joshua.
Nice to meet you,
journey.
Joshua. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Okay, I'm Albert Tompkins, and I'm a licensed psychotherapist here in the territory. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm also an author and public speaker, and I am excited to be here today to talk about our wonderful book called The J.A.W.S to Success. And I do believe it is life-changing, and we do certainly believe that it is the ultimate formula for success. So I'm happy to be here to chat about that today.
Thank you for that. Walter?
I'm Walter Barrett, husband, father, restorative justice officer at His Majesty's Prison, counselor at His Majesty's Prison, also with responsibility for rehabilitation at His Majesty's Prison. I'm an author, I'm a counselor, I'm a pastor, I'm a motivational speaker, and I'm an author. So happy to be here as well.
Okay, great. Thank you. So let's get straight to the book. And as it was aptly said in your preface, J.A.W.S is not a movie, but rather it's a transformative movement that basically attacks mediocrity. Can you tell us about the inspiration behind the book? And we'll start with Walter this time.
Okay. We have all written other books, and that is a big part of how we came together. I guess at some point each of us will speak about our books and our writing journey. But also we came together after Irma to bring motivation, to bring hope, to bring encouragement to businesses and individuals who were trying to get back on their feet, even though we ourselves were on a journey of trying to get back on our own feet.
Right.
So that's a big part of how this whole project started. I don't want to say all of it, so I'll allow Albert and Joshua to say their parts as well.
Okay. And Dr. Tompkins, can you tell us about what inspired you to collaborate and produce J.A.W.S?
Sure. So as you stated, we were together for a while, and we were, again, providing motivational talks to the territory within the public service. And I noticed that we had similar passions, we had similar giftings, we had similar goals. And every time we got together to work together, there was a certain energy, a synergy that took place. And so I did approach them to say, come on, guys, let's do something together. So as you said, we launched our individual books together in 2019. And after that, we were thinking about doing something, one book together. And there's a saying that says, grabbing success out of the jaws of defeat. And I kind of played with that a little bit. And I said, Jaws, okay, well, Joshua can talk about the journey to success. Albert, the approach, and Walter, the work. So that's how we kind of got together to collaborate on this wonderful book here. And I want to say that once you apply those 3 areas, we can almost guarantee you get success. So that's how we came to that.
Thank you. And Joshua, what was a motivating force from your
Yes.
perspective?
Well, like Albert said, we both came, the 3 of us came together because we had similar vibes, if I can use that word, energy, and we all wanted the same thing. We wanted to help people, and we all wrote our individual books. So we came together at a 3-man book launch as men. You don't see men working together in public like that.
Right.
So we came together on that platform to show the community, to show the world that men can produce something great, that men can share inspiration and help to develop people.
Right. And I know you would have touched on it, but I'm
Sure.
excited to hear a bit more about the title. You know, editors tend to suggest very provocative titles, and this one is very interesting. So, was there at any point in time where you almost went with a different title? Was it just a happy coincidence, or tell us a
No,
bit
it
about
was
that?
very intentional.
It's very intentional.
Very intentional. I'm a man of faith, and as we were just kind of meditating what we could do, that kind of came to us, and so we just stuck with that, and we worked around that. So, and also we'll talk about that, but each individual component matches our personality. So,
Right, definitely. So we'll get to that
Sure.
in a while.
Okay.
But I wanted to ask a question about the intended audience for Jaws. Is it for anyone who wants to be successful, or do you have specific targeted groups that the book would be, good for?
It's not for everybody.
No.
It's not for everybody,
Disclaimer?
unfortunately. Yeah. Disclaimer: Jaws, the Jaws of success is not for everybody. It's only for the people who want to be successful in life.
Right.
And people talk about wanting to be successful, but when it comes down to like my section, the W, which I'm sure we'll talk about a little later on, a lot of people don't want to put in that work. They don't want to make the sacrifices. I want the success, but I don't want to go through the journey. I don't want to change
Right.
my approach. But it's for anybody, honestly, though, who wants to be successful in any facet of their life. Like Dr. Tompkins said, there's a formula and it works.
So did you think about presenting to different like organizations, businesses, for example, schools?
Yes. So JAWS is the word that comes to my mind is a movement and a foundation. So it's going to touch every category of persons, children, teens, adults, business people, anyone that is moving towards success, there will be a JAWS for them. So
Right.
we have JAWS of writing.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Without giving
And
too much
multiple,
away.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So can you continue by telling me what you hope readers will, garner from the experience of reading Jaws, and can you give me your individual views on that?
so the journey.
So for the journey, what we want you as readers to garner is that it's all about you. It's all about your foundation. It's about the building that you want to create. You need to know yourself, to know who would be able to help you, what's in your heart, the things you need to change, the person you need to become in order to get this success. And the critical part is leading yourself. That's a major thing when it comes to discipline, diligence, and not being lazy and a procrastinator. So the journey is about getting up and making it happen.
Okay, great. Well, I think at this point it would be appropriate for you to tell me about the individual sections and the acronym. So can you tell us about the approach, Dr. Tompkins?
Sure. So the approach really what it boils down to is the how. How do you do things? It's your actual individual philosophy on life, how you perceive things. Because really, if you think about it, we all have a particular approach to life. And so I take some time in my book to help you to realize that you have an approach, and then sometimes you have to change it in order to be successful. Kind of like a pilot who's trying to land a plane. Sometimes he has to change his approach so he can successfully land safely. And so this book looks at how you look at things, and then deciding if you really want to be successful, maybe I need to change my approach. Maybe I need to think about things differently. Maybe I need to learn from others, because there's more than one way to quote unquote skin a cat, right? And so that's what the approach is about. And I spend time also talking about the fact that your soul really determines your approach. How you view things, what your intellect is, what your mindset is, how you feel about things. So sometimes we get in our emotions and we don't want to change. So I encourage persons to really look at their perspective, look at their approach, and begin to change. If you want to be successful, you may have to change your mind.
I'm almost thinking that it can also stand for adaptability.
That's true. That's true. You're very right. Because I do say sometimes, if you want to be successful, sometimes you have to accept, adapt, and adjust.
Yes.
And then you'll be successful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, that's an approach.
It is an approach, right?
The work. I think probably one of the hardest parts of success. Everybody wants to be successful, but not everybody wants to work toward being successful. Nobody wants to get up early in the morning. Nobody wants to put in the extra hours. We're actually a part of a generation where we're looking on and seeing people who want things now, instant gratification, from smartphones to microwaves to, online shopping. Everything brings stuff to you very quickly. And so work is something that's becoming almost obsolete. That's why we have so many young people right now who are involved in criminal activities, because they want a shortcut.
Right.
Success doesn't have any shortcuts. That's the reality of the matter. And even if persons become successful overnight, in order to keep that success, they have to work. They have to have a plan. They have to work that plan. So my section looks at work. It looks at the importance of work. It looks at the rewards that work brings. And it shows how actually enjoyable and sweet work can be. I started my section by quoting a passage of scripture that says, "By the sweat of your brow, you shall eat bread." There's a rule in place in the universe, whether you're a religious person or not, that if you want to be successful, you have to work. So this shows that work can be enjoyable, and there's a rainbow at the end of it.
Okay, thank you. So now from let's get a bit personal.
No.
Was there any interesting discoveries that you would have made about yourself during working on this particular project? Were there any transformational experiences that you would have encountered?
I
Don't
learned
all
that,
go at once.
no, I'll start since I had the floor, but again, work. One of the things I learned is I work too hard. No, really. I wear so many hats, and at the end of the day, even in terms of work, you have to understand, what work am I doing that really is assigned and aligned with my purpose? Because some of the work that we're doing, we're working to make other people successful, and we're ignoring the work that really has to do with our own self. This book, in order to get it completed, I had to work the book. I had to get up, I had to write, I had to put in that time. And we had a deadline in terms of when we wanted this done. And to be honest, a couple times we pushed back that deadline. And even that is okay, because the book, in terms of work, I spoke about having realistic deadlines and the difference between what is a realistic deadline and a self-imposed deadline. So you have to understand that things are going to change, but you have to know that what you're doing is actually about you, and you're focusing on your own success. We're not building somebody else's empire. You have to take some time to build your own, because that matters. Or else you're going to see everybody else, succeeding, and you're still where you were in the beginning, wishing, wondering, what did I do wrong? Where could I have changed? This book helps us to understand. So I discovered I work too hard, especially for the wrong places,
Right.
and I need to spend more time focused on me and what my journey is, make the necessary adjustments to my approach, and work it properly.
So it's a matter of, assessing your priorities as
Yeah,
well.
definitely.
Okay, great. So Joshua, what was your journey like?
My journey, I realized that these three areas suits us very well. I'm a journeyman, and it speaks to vision. I get a lot of ideas, a lot of inspiration. I can see the end. But then what I have learned is that I need people who are like minded, who have the approach, who have the energy, who have the work that can come alongside me to make the big picture happen. So I learned that I am wired for collaboration more than I
Wow.
thought. And if I am going to be successful, I need people that are genuine, people that are real, and people that wants to see everyone win at the same time.
Thank you, Joshua. That was powerful.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I realized that my journey is not like everyone else's. Sometimes there's a temptation to see others doing certain things
Right.
and say, I want that, but that's not for me. And I had to focus on what's for me. And the path that I have to take is my path. And just because others are not taking that path doesn't mean I'm wrong. This means it's my path. So I had to embrace that and realizing, like Josh said, that collaboration is important. And these gentlemen helped me through my journey because I had a very traumatic experience during this time. But focus on the fact that it wasn't just me. There's some others that are involved. Helped me to focus on our project to get it done. So I had to embrace the fact that, yes, my journey is mine, but there's others connected to it. And we have a destination to reach.
Right.
So we depend on one another and we encourage one another. And that if you really want to go somewhere, it's going to take collaboration because you can do more with more.
More with more,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, before we get to speaking about the book launch, can you tell me where I might be able to find and purchase J.A.W.S?
Awesome. Well, you're going to definitely find it at the book launch.
Yeah.
Which is going to be on April the 11th
Right.
at 6:45. And also on the same day, we'll be launching on Amazon.com. You can go
On the same day?
On the same
Okay.
day, yeah.
So
that's
is that
what we find.
intentional as well?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes. We want our online audience and our in-person audience to have the experience at the same time.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And let's talk about the launch. What's the date again? Can you remind us? Tell us about the venue. Who's invited? Just successful people? People wanting to be successful?
Everybody.
Everybody.
April the 11th at 6:45 p.m. at the New Life Baptist Church. We wanted somewhere that was central and that had good parking where people will feel comfortable and know that when they go back outside, the car will still be there. So we'll go and have parking attendants and ushers and all of that lovely stuff. So persons will be comfortable on the inside. It's going to be a book launch with a difference. We're going to have a very exciting giveaway for someone that is there. And we're going to be announcing some upcoming events as well because, as Joshua rightly said, J.A.W.S it's not punctiliar, it's linear. It's a movement. There are several other things that we're going to be doing in the community, in schools, businesses, the sister islands, and throughout the region. Because this J.A.W.S is going to become a household name.
Yeah.
So people can look out for that. We're going to be launching a couple other projects and letting the public know about it during the book launch. We have the Jaws of Writing workshop on June the 15th and 16th. So persons who want to learn how to write, they have a manuscript, they have an idea, they have, I want to get this book out. Everywhere I go, I say there's at least one book inside of everybody. So you need to come
Right.
so that you can get your book out. We're going to be linking potential authors with publishing agents. We're going to tell them the whole process of from writing your introduction to your, your query letter to your publisher. And if you want to self-publish as opposed to the traditional publishing, how you go about doing it, we're going to teach people how to write. We're going to help people write their book, get that out there. We also have our Jaws of Public Speaking workshop that's in November. And persons will be able to register for those two workshops at the end of the book launch. And they'll also be able to pre-register for our signature event, which is in July of 2025, July the 21st to the 26th, the Jaws of Marriage Cruise on board the Carnival Magic. So persons will be able to register for that. Persons who are engaged, if they get married in time, they can come. And we will have our Jaws of Marriage book launching on the cruise as well, along with the Jaws of Marriage manuscript. So lots of things happening when you come out on April the 11th.
So Joshua, is there anything that you're particularly looking forward to as it relates to the movement post book launch?
The movement and say that part again.
So he mentioned a whole host of activities that you have planned. So is there anything that you especially are looking forward to?
Well, for me, I'm looking forward for the faces that light up when they're changed. That light bulb that goes off. I'm looking forward to see people actually take the step and come out and be transformed, if I can use that word. I'm looking for the BVI to wake up from complacency, from the crab in the barrel mentality. I'm looking for persons to come alive. Come alive with Jaws. That's what I'm looking for.
Great. And Dr. Tompkins, will you be a facilitator for any of these workshops in particular?
Yes, I'll be there for the Jaws of Writing, Successful Writing. I'll be there also for the Jaws of Public Speaking, and also for the Jaws of Successful Marriage, because we do believe those three areas are really important
Right.
for individual persons throughout the territory, and we believe this is a tool that can help, because people need tools, and I think these tools are really practical, rubber meets the ground kind of items that can help persons. So.
Yeah. Thank you. And before we close, at this time, I would like to thank you each, Joshua, Dr. Tompkins, Albert, and Walter. Thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations again. I mean, I like the energy. I think that you have great chemistry between you, and I'm excited to see what the movement will look like and how far it will go. And as you said, it's a linear process, so we have at least until 2025 and beyond to look forward to. So thank you.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you.
Thank you.
I have been your J.A.W.S host, Sanjay Greenwich, for the Department of Information and Public Relations and the Department of Culture.